So a couple days ago, I talked about the canceled Thomas musical show from 1976, and you guys really seemed to like that video. And I mentioned in that video another attempt at a Thomas show that was made in 1953. It was canceled. However, one episode did air, and that episode was the BBC's adaptation of The Sad Story of Henry. The Sad Story of Henry is the third story from the Reverend W. Awdry's first book, 3 Railway Engines. The story is about Henry who decided to stay in the tunnel so his paint wouldn't be spoiled by the rain. It's a simple story, but it's pretty fun, and it's probably the most well-known Thomas story ever made. In 1953, the BBC approached then Railway Series editor Eric Marriott. They asked about getting the rights to adapt the 2 Railway Series stories, The Sad Story of Henry and Edward Gordon Henry, since they went hand in hand. Eric told Awdry about this, and Awdry even agreed to it. The BBC would begin work on making the episodes. The episode was going to be scheduled for broadcast on June 14th during the Children's Hour on the BBC. The pilot would be filmed using models like the later Britt Allcroft series, but with just straight-out-of-the-box models made by Hornby, not custom-made for the show. They were repainted by P.R. Wickham, who also built the sets for the pilot. He designed them to basically look exactly as accurate as possible to the illustrations by C. Reginald Dalby from the original book. The BBC hired actress Julia Lang to narrate the pilot as well. Everything seemed to be going well, and everything was set up so that way when the day came for the pilot to air, everything would go perfectly. And so it aired. Everything was going perfectly fine, and then 9 episodes were immediately ordered. Just kidding, it went terribly wrong. Just to remind you, it was aired live. Yes, live. Live during the small, finicky model trains being used, on pre-used track. If that doesn't raise multiple red flags, I don't know what does. So while being transmitted live from Lime Grove Studios in England, everything seemed to be going fine. Then suddenly, while Henry was on his way to the tunnel to start off the story, he derailed on a bend. And if that wasn't bad enough, a hand could be seen picking up Henry back onto the rails, and Julia had to ad-lib a line to then cover up the mistake. It was a terrible mess. The rest of the special continued to then drag on for 5 minutes, and to make matters even worse, they just didn't even air the next episode. It just cut off. Afterward, Awdry decided not to continue with the BBC on the project. He would later say that he didn't like how the stories were going to be dragged out to 10 minutes. And the bad model work didn't help either. Negative media attention just continued to dig the show's grade, and that was it. Later episodes were planned, most likely being based off of the early Railway Series books, and that was the last time anyone attempted ever making a show based off of the Railway Series. Until 1976. I think in the end, I have to say, both of these shows have interesting histories. If anything, the less interesting one got an actual episode. I would honestly kill to see what that musical series would have been about. This one, I mean, I can just watch a fan remake video of like what would have been, and I think I'd get the same experience. It's a funny idea just to see a hand come and pick up Henry in front of thousands of people on the BBC. I'm very happy with the show that we ended up getting for real, and I don't think anything would have ever topped it. It's interesting to see and hear that the models apparently would have been super realistic to the drawings, but I don't know. I think I'm happy with what we got.
Well, I guess I'm just stuck in this tunnel for the rest of my life. Wonder if they'll make an episode about me in the series. Probably not. Better find a way to pass time. Country roads, take me home to the place that I know. West Virginia!